Hello guys, the DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time I'm going to be going over 6 Phantom Knight combos that have been given to me by Dodger Wolf, who is currently ranked 3 on DB. Also, if you want to check out the deck profile I did with him, there's a little player interview. I'll leave a link to it down below in the description. There's a lot of information in that. And with that being said, let's hop into combo number 1. So this is just one tour guide. Also, a little background on the list. There's no Dragoon in the list. And then they're also playing like the little sold package. So combo 1 tour guide without any other extenders. So just one tour guide. Summon out Graph from the deck. And then turn those into a Cherubini. Graph effect is summon out. And then that's going to summon out Seer. It says here if you have a decent amount of hand traps, enough to stop your opponent, you can go for Scarm instead of Seer to get more follow-ups. Also, if they don't interrupt you, you can still stun. You can still end on Rusty, Appaloosa, Fogblade. Most of the times, you just go for Seer here. And then Cherubini effect, dump the Ancient Cloak, then slap those into a Rusty. Seer effect, special summon back out the Cherubini. And then they're gonna activate Rusty effect, dump the Torn Scales, set Fogblade, and then Ancient Cloak effect, banish, go grab Boots, and then Torn Scales summon itself out. Also, this is set here, they're just having it face up, that way like it's easier to see what the end board is. So summon out, and then Boot summon itself out. Here, if you can discard any card for Torn effect, you can extend more, but in this case, let's just say you have the one tour guide in hand, and then go for the Sea Dragon. Sea Dragon effect, summon out the Ancient Cloak. Ancient Cloak effect, make this gang 800 until the end of the opponent's turn. Then activate Boots, go grab Shade, and then set and activate this. You're going to turn those into the Assault, and then Assault effect to go search, and then activate the effect to go ahead and dump the Living Fossil, summon out Renaud. This is the little Assault package where you play like the 1 Living Fossil, 1 Renaud. And then Renaud effect to go ahead and add back the Living Fossil. And then turn those into a Appaloosa, and then go for IP. And that is it for combo 1. So with just one tour guide, you're ending with a Fogblade, an IP, an Appaloosa, a good amount of follow-ups through the Ancient Cloak, Torn Scales. You get to search out a Warrior off the Assault, Living Fossil, and then like Fogblade can summon back after it leaves the field. So this is pretty good. And now hopping into combo number 2, we have a tour guide plus an extender. Doesn't have to be Knight, it can be any level 3 extender, as you can see. So tour guide, and then Knight will summon itself out, bring out Graph off of the tour guide, turn those into a Cherubini, Graph effect to summon, and then summon out Seer, Cherubini effect to dump, and that's going to dump the Ancient Cloak, and then Ancient Cloak effect, banish, go grab Boots, then overlay those for Sea Dragon. The Sea Dragon effect, attach, summon out the Ancient Cloak, and then special summon Boots. Said in this specific scenario, you do have 2 choices to either go for the Appaloosa set up with a Sold, or go for the F-Zero Draco board. I recommend you always go for the F-Zero combo in game 1. It's good against any deck in general, and some decks waste more resources just to out it. But if it's game 2 or game 3, and if you know you're playing against a Virtual World or Drytron, Appaloosa is better. It depends. Yeah, if you're playing against more like a heavy combo deck, then Appaloosa is probably just better since it trades a lot better against those kind of decks. But I don't know, Appaloosa is pretty decent against everything. You know, it's a pretty broken card. I'll show you both. Let's start with F-Zero. So they're going to go ahead, go for Dante. Dante as material gives you more follow-up for the next turn, getting back the Seer, and then you can Seer, bring out Cherubini. But you can use any XYZ rank 3 that you want here. Also, usually they would Dante mill, but for like a combo video, it doesn't really make sense to do that since the mills can change a lot of what you do. But if you mill like an extender off of that, then it can like change how you do your combo. It can make you end with like a Fogblade if you mill like a trap there, like a Phantom Knight trap besides Shade. Then they're going to go for F-Zero. Seer effect, summon back out Graph. It's protected by Cherubini here, so it won't be destroyed. And then go for Draco. Turn those into the Rusty. And then Rusty effect, dump Torn Scales, set Fogblade. And then activate Boots. Banish, grab Fogblade. Torn Scales effect, summon itself out. And then effect discard says here, if you have a free card to discard, you can end with the wings in field for protections instead of the graveyard. So that will go ahead and dump the Ragged Gloves. And then Fogblade, banish, summon out Ancient Cloak effect, make this getting 800 until the end of the opponent's turn. Overlay for Breaksword, Rusty effect, pop, Breaksword effect, summon out. And then they're going to go ahead and turn those into an IP. Gloves effect, banish, go dump wings. And then it says in here you end with F0 interruption, a pop with Rusty because you have wings to summon back out Breaksword to make this get a pop. Fogblade, and an IP to go for Unicorn Appaloosa. If you have a free discard for the Torn Scales effect, the wings would be in field, giving extra protection to the IP if they want to go straight in the battle phase. Also, if you have enough follow-up, you have enough follow-up to OTK your opponent next turn through 1-2 interruptions, even if they break your board. Yeah, like the best part about this deck is like the follow-ups. Like the end board is like solid enough to win you most games, but then the follow-up is just like so much. But going on to the next combo, this is going to be another tour guide plus extender combo, the different route that they were talking about in the last combo. So normal summon, any level 3 extender. Then tour guide, bring out Graph, go for Cherubini, Graph, summon Seer from the deck. Cherubini, dump, effect, go search Boots. And then overlay for Sea Dragon. Sea Dragon, summon out the Ancient Cloak, special out Boots. This is the exact same scenario, but you go for the Assault instead of the Dante. So go for Assault, effect, go search out the Ragged Gloves, and then effect the dump, Renaud effect, add back, and then add back the Living Fossil. Get rid of all those for the Appaloosa, and then you're going to get Seer effect, the special summon out, protected by Cherubini, so it's not destroyed. Then turn those into a Rusty effect, dump Torn Scales, set wings, and then Boots effect, banish, go grab Fogblade, and then Torn Scales to summon itself out, and then activate that effect, discard the Assault Search of Ragged Gloves to dump Sword, and then Sword effect, banish, summon out Ancient Cloak effect, make this gang 800, and then go for Breaksword, Rusty effect, pop it, and then Breaksword effect to summon it back out from the graveyard, and then go ahead and slap those into an IP. And also, like they said in combo 1, anytime that you're going for like IP, pretty much you can go for Evil Storm Nightmare 2, but they're just not playing it. And then you have Fogblade wings. They choose to set up the wings here. It does like instantly put itself in the graveyard, so that way you can just bring out Breaksword. I don't think this is bad. I kind of think, I don't know, like setting Sword seems cool. It makes your Appaloosa have like another negate too, which is like insane. But you could also set like Fogblade, because if you set Fogblade and you target something with it, like every deck is pretty much like linking away with what they're doing, right? So like they're gonna link away, and then the Fogblade touches graveyard, and then you can get your pop that way. But now we are going to be going on to the next combo. We're going to have Torn Scales plus any random discard. You end with the same board as combo 1 with Tour Guide. I'll show you how. Alright, effect, go ahead, dump the Ancient Cloak, and then Ancient Cloak effect, go grab Boots, then special summon out Boots. They're going to turn those into the Cherubini effect to dump Graph summon Seer. Then go for the Rusty, Seer effect, summon back out Cherubini. And then Rusty effect the dump and set. They're going to dump Ragged Gloves, set Fogblade, and then Ragged Gloves banish to send the Sword. Then activate Torn Scales, or not Torn Scales, sorry, the Sword effect to go ahead and summon out the Boots. Now they're going to activate the Torn Scales effect to summon itself out. And then overlay those for the Sea Dragon. Sea Dragon, summon out Ancient Cloak, make a gang 800. You always want to do that. Like, it may not seem that important, but it could definitely be the difference between like you winning the game or losing the game just by like that extra like 800 damage. Then Boots effect, go search out the Shade. Then set it, activate it, turn those into a Sold, effect, search, and then effect to go ahead and dump the Living Fossil, Renaud, Run Out effect, add back Living Fossil, and then go for the Appaloosa there, and then turn those into an IP, and that is going to be it for the combos. So you have 2 negates with your Appaloosa here, you have an IP to go ahead and link away. You can go ahead and like Fog Blade the opponent, and then they out it, then you can banish the summon back. You could also Living Fossil to put the other monster on field for this. You could also like link away with your Appaloosa depending on the scenario. But as you see, like you still have like crazy follow up with this. It may not even seem that crazy, but like Ancient Cloak Torn Scales is pretty nice. And then you have your Rusty that they have to out, or it's gonna be more. Your Fog Blade is gonna be more follow up, and if they out Rusty and Fog Blade, then Fog Blade summons back out Rusty. And then Torn Scales will summon itself out during their end phase. You have this follow-up. But going on to the next combo, we have Torn Scales plus a good discard now. So go ahead and effect set. It can be any PK Trap or Ancient Cloak. Or Torn Scales plus any level 3 extender plus a card to discard. So like this, and then like, let's just say like a Knight, and then like random card to discard like an Ash Blossom. This will still work. Pretty much like the same combo. Ancient Cloak, banish, go search Boots, summon the Boots out, and then go for Cherubini. Cherubini effect, dump Graph, bring out Seer. And then Fog Blade, banish, summon out Torn Scales, overlay for the Sea Dragon. Here, before you activate Leviair effect, you detach depending on what combo you're going for. If you want the F-Zero board, detach Seer. If you want the Appaloosa board, detach Torn Scales. Let's first the F-Zero combo, so we're going to be showing off both of the combos here. Summon out Ancient Cloak, Seer effect, bring out Graph, protected from this, and then go ahead and go for Dante. Again, they're not milling just because in the video it doesn't make sense to do because you can mill a whole bunch of different random things and then change the combo. But obviously, if you're playing, you want to go ahead and Dante mill 3. And then go for the future. Boots effect, go search Shade. And then set, activate. Then go for Rusty. Rusty effect, dump, set Fog Blade. And then activate the Ragged Gloves. Banish it, dump Wings. And then activate the Wings effect to summon out the Ancient Cloak. And then Torn Scale effect to summon itself out. And then Ancient Cloak effect, make that King 800. Go for Break Sword. Rusty effect, pop Break Sword. Break Sword effect, summon out Torn Scales, Ancient Cloak. Also, it's not going to come up in this combo video just because they're not going for Anaconda things. But another like cool interaction with the deck is that Anaconda can make anything a dark. So if you set up like Appaloosa, then you can Anaconda effect, target Appaloosa, make it a dark, and then Ancient Cloak, make it gain 800 attack for another negate. But honestly, that play doesn't even like come up that much, even in like the Anaconda builds. But it's definitely something that you should know. Go for IP, and then you have this. Now let's see the Appaloosa route, detaching the Torn Scales. As you see here is a solid amount of interruptions, and then follow up. Going on to the next game, or next combo, we're going to have Torn Scales plus the good discard. Again, this could also just be a random discard plus an extender in hand. And then summon out, turn those into Cherubini. Effect, dump Graph, summon Seer. I feel like I've said that before. Fog Blade, summon out the Torn Scales, overlay those for the Sea Dragon. Exact same scenario, but you want the Appaloosa board, so detach the Torn Scales. And then effect, detach, bring out the Ancient Cloak, and then Boots, banish, go search Shade, and then set it, activate it, turn those into a Sold. The Sold effect, go search out the Knight, and then effect to go dump Living Fossil, summon Renaud effect, add back the Living Fossil, then get rid of all those, go for Appaloosa, and then Seer effect, special summon out Graph, protected from Cherubini, and then turn those into the Rusty effect, dump, set the Fog Blade, and then activate the Ragged Gloves, banish, dump Wings, and then Wings effect to summon out the Ancient Cloak, Torn Scales effect, summon itself out here, Ancient Cloak effect, plus 800, overlay, break sword, rusty, pop the break sword effect, special summon back. So summon those back. And then just get rid of those for the IP. Remember that in old combos, you can make Evil Storm Nightmare instead of IP if you want. Exactly. So that is going to be it for the combo video. 6 combos there. You know, nothing like too out of the ordinary besides like the assault stuff. But definitely some combos that you want to know if you plan on playing this deck. Also, if you plan on playing against this deck, now you can like know where to hand trap your opponent better because you might know what kind of routes they plan on making. A lot of people aren't going for the assault stuff, but might become more popular. Like the deck, like the whole function of the deck might just end up changing post-bode depending on like if people are gonna be playing like the Fusion Destiny stuff in it or not. A lot of people are also playing Dragoon in the deck right now. There's like a lot of different ways that Phantom Knights are being played. There's also people going for like the rank up into the Arc Rebellion. So it also depends on like what build your opponent's playing, on how you're gonna hand trap it or how you're gonna combo. But I thought this would be a cool video to show off, especially with me posting the deck profile yesterday. And again, if you want to see that deck profile, link down below at the top of the description for the deck profile plus the player interview I did with Dodger Wolf. And thank you, Dodger Wolf, for sending in these combos and doing the deck profile with me. I highly appreciate you. Also, let me know down below in the comments if you kind of think this, like if you think this series would be good, where I go ahead and I get some players that are good with certain decks. You know, maybe we can get like Nesh on the channel again like we did with Virtual World before. We can get players who like top tournaments with certain decks. And I can go ahead and do like a deck profile player interview with them and then a combo video. Except next time I'm going to ask for them to be in the combo video. Probably should have done that with Dodger Wolf, but I didn't. But that's just a learning experience. So next time I can ask, hey, to the person, hey, you want to like be in the combo video? But if you like this kind of video, comment down below. Let me know so that way I know if I should make more videos like this in the future. And with that being said, the DB Grinder signing off. Peace. Have a nice day. Stay safe.